We are live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Legends of Aeolus. We're only a little bit late. It's fine. Everything's fine. So I'm not going to dilly-dally. We're going to get right into the show. Obviously, we are down 2 people. That's part of what took us some time. So to each of them, we hope that they return soon. And that's that. In the meantime, Terrapin Hermanos, thank you for following 7 days ago. Rose Gent, thank you for following. The Feral Lady, thank you for following and subscribing. Heckin' neat. Jackatanel, thank you for following 5 hours ago. That's when we should have started the stream. We're only a little bit late. It's only been 5 hours. Now everybody's confused. They're like, wait, they start 5 hours ago? No, we're just an hour-ish late. But as you saw, if you were here a little bit ago, that's part of why. That's part of why we're late. Anyways, we've got a session to do that is sans 2 players. Fortunately, a bit of this session is going to be not with the main cast anyway. We're going to jump over to Asher's little vision. Is it his vision or is it him experiencing life through the eyes of a wolf dog? Just for a little bit. Just a good puppers.
Just the goodest boy.
The goodest boy. And so yeah, I'm gonna give them a bit of freedom. I give them the character cards that they will roll off of. Other than that, we've not discussed names or anything. So they're just gonna wing it. I have discussed to some degree roles, but it is good to finally be starting. Let me say hi to people that are in here, because what would this be if we didn't say hello to you awesome people? It would just be plain D&D, and who does that? Freaking nerds.
Who is he calling a nerd?
I don't know.
Nerds are my favorite people. Harley Quinn, hello, Veronica. And the Feral Lady, hello. Welcome. First time chat. Glad you could make it for the stream. This is a stream. This is D&D. Shut the fuck up, Hannah. Okay? You didn't say anything, but you gestured and it was loud. Okay?
Hey, you talk to my girl like that, okay? Yeah, you got it all wrong. Don't talk to her like that. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. So,
Allie?
yeah.
I will taste your... Not again. Not again. Listens at dusk. Hello. Welcome. Glad you could make it as well. Dangerous Hyperbole. Thank you for the compliment on the... That is not quite the intro. That is just the wait / in between screen. The intro... I vastly underestimated how much effort animation is. There's a reason that studios have entire departments for that, but we will get it done. Argent Court, hello. Thank you for tuning in as well. Aaron! Hello, hi. Sorry that I clipped the microphone. Or am I? It is good to see you as well. Tony Karlstrom, thank you for joining as well. Ryan, hello. Who else is here? Proxima 3055. Hello, welcome. We are ready to start. So with that, we just do a recap and then jump into it? Bro, it's so weird not having a transition thing, am I right? It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's a bit odd, isn't
into it, man.
Bit odd.
I say we jump into it.
Recap. Guys, help me out. Part of Blind's absence, we were not able to have the recap done as well, so there's that. We have an amazing...
We did some things.
Production.
And then we got
when
back.
It comes together. It's pretty great.
It is something.
It is something when it all comes together, but that's a lot of difficult moving parts. Somebody say something that happened last episode.
Well, we are home,
We are home.
and we are home, and there was a giant tree in front of Rowan's house that is actually Briar's uncle named Tambrin.
Ambrin, he's a
Who
treant.
is- Yeah, and then
The tree ant
Cor-
eats rocks.
yep,
Yes,
he
he
eats
eats
That's
rocks.
an
Yeah.
important
Get it.
factor now.
Yes, you get it. He used to eat plants, and now he eats rocks because minerals. Trees need their minerals. Cheers, mate.
I thought he said
He-
cheese needs
His
minerals.
conscious is there, but it's not entirely there. We know it's Tambrin, but it's not there. Aurelia thought maybe Briar was part tree at
Are
one
you
point
part
in
tree?
time.
Are you a tree?
Aurelia-
That's what you asked.
Aurelia needs to be protected at all costs. Let's see here. Then we had dinner all together as a family again. Tambrin made some tree chairs. And then we had the dream sequence with Karun.
Yes, Karan infiltrated Khazrak's dreams peacefully so that they could have a conversation. Khazrak was quite impressed by that and said, "Hey, Briar, neat shit, bro." And that's exactly, quote, word for word what he said. And they learned about some of the stuff that happened in Zahath, or is happening in Zahath, which is still kind of blurry to those over yonder, and even Khazrak himself. From what we know, those who have seen the Zahath campaign, everything that he relayed is not quite up to date. So there's that aspect. And
The
are we
whole
missing
party.
anything else? Yeah.
Cole and Aurelia finally met Coria, the other one that
That
must
is
be
true.
protected at all
Yes,
costs.
Yes.
Asher avoided the super serious conversations because he just wanted to enjoy a day. And
Yes. So
And then we had a scary dream.
we had a scary dream, which we're about to jump into. A dream / vision / what would this be called? A
Premonition?
No, he has entered the body of an animal. So now Asher is controlling
out
this-
of body experience.
Yes, of some sort, yes. He's controlling this dire wolf that is marching along a
Possession.
group of refugee. He has technically, yes, possessed it. They are marching along a group of refugees that we know, at least, are refugees just fleeing for their life away from Zahath and hoping to find some peace and protection away from the atrocities happening in Zahath, and hoping that they will find mercy along the Eswind front. The soldiers there armed and ready, expecting a full-on clash, this being the start of the frontline war and battle. Those encroaching on this group of refugees, the seemingly undead, dastardly creations of Morakir, Grandmaster Wizard of Zahath. They encroach, seeking to add to their numbers and destroy what is left of those who have fled. You do have a d6 to safe check or attack now, Allie, I guess in this case. If you want to use it for this character as well, you may.
Oh, saving it for Rowan.
Yeah,
My
you're
boy needs
saving it
it.
for Rowan. That's my boy, Rowan. If we get to it this episode, yes. Yeah, bro, it's so weird and disjointed. We didn't even say like anything. The things. The things. That's it. The things. And we jump back into the session. The one standing next to the dire wolf dog sends off a rider, just a young teenage boy, if that, rides off alone to the Eswin front to go speak with them and parlay as quick as they can any kind of conversation that can be had. Only wishing to say that these people are seeking an asylum and hoping that there's some mercy from the leader of this massive front. They slowly encroach on that line anyway, not knowing what awaits them as sandwiched between two unknowns, one of which the only thing that is known is an imminent death and clash as these undead shamble closer and closer, a faster pace than what this group inches towards the other potential threat. The man then grabs the tuft of fur of this wolf dog. Come on, boy. Let's give him a fighting chance. He unsheaths his axe, just a simple wood-cutting axe. Kind of stands his ground and scurries along more of the women and children and others who do not stand and fight in this moment. Turns to another figure. My microphone's getting funky. Oops. Hello. Hi. There we are. Oh, there. Oh no. It's okay. It's not my microphone, it's my own headphones, so I sound weird to myself. So everything else sounds fine to everybody else, but okay. Turns to another figure, which may be Allie. Go ahead and describe your randomly populated NPC character.
Next to the man, you'll see a about mid-height older woman in probably her mid-30s, graying red hair, really ruffled, natted, dirty. From all the traveling they've been doing. So we stand and fight.
The man that you know, scratching nervously at the tuft of the wolf dog, a man by the name of Ravnik, R-A-V-N-I-C-K. You can put that in for chat as well. And the name for this lovely lady?
Iona.
Fiona or Theona?
Iona. Just
Iona.
I-O-N-A. I-O-N-A, sorry. Yeah.
I-O-N-A.
And I will just pull out basically a machete, if you will, to really clear the branches is what she's been using to help clear the way as we march along.
With that, giving the wolf dog a pat, turns to another figure. Seth, go ahead.
Okay, you see a middle-aged man, 28 to 29, and he's got long blonde hair and kind of seems like he's tired, exhausted, and he just looks around and goes, "Fine. What a waste of time if we have to." And pulls out the scimitar in one hand and a dagger flipped around in the other, prepared to fight.
And his name?
His name is Charles.
Charles. You and a few others stand back as more scurry along. You have decent numbers all together, and maybe in the range of 75 to 100 total of the entire almost caravan, but not all combat worthy, though if it comes to it, some may all have to fight for their lives, or at least die trying. Ravnik calls out some orders, and some people with just simple, some with simple farmers' weapons, and others with just rusted swords and broken items and anything that they could scavenge to defend themselves with, and bucklers and shields made of just different wood items or anything to defend themselves, makeshift weapons. You see the horde that approaches. Though there are different clumps of them, the first one that approaches is 25, 30 of these individuals that are closer. And as you see them shamble, the familiar, untired walk as if with purpose and no need for rest or nourishment or anything that which the living need. They march their way across the Black Bridge, the eastern front. You hear, as the trumpets blare from the Eswind side, and then the sound of drums blares out amongst the trumpets as a procession is formed. And then you hear, in this kind of crescendo, the smack of shields as if a threat that echoes through the open air.
Never heard the drums of war so loud. We really are here.
A war we
It's
never
not
asked
truly-
for.
It's all truly a waste of time. I think if everybody would please just calm down, we could probably find somewhere to rest and maybe wait another day or two.
There's no waiting with those things on our tails.
And also, to paint the picture for you, there's no forests or anything. What was left of the forest, if, as I've described of the Black Bridge before, is all burnt and desolate wasteland that has undergone years and years of, just think like no man's land, essentially. Just generations of wars fought there. There's not necessarily anywhere where they can go. They can go backwards, which is flat wasteland and a wall of undead, or they can go forwards, which is flat wasteland into some trees, but before those trees and the forest that is mostly untouched is a giant wall of the Eswind army in full. Caught between a bit of a rock and a hard place, so to say.
So are we to fight the army, or are we to fight the undead and give our people more time to get to the army and hopefully convince them that we mean them no harm and get to Sanctuary?
And fighting them's not any way to convince them that we mean no harm. What we're going to have to do is hope that Prillin makes a plea for our people. Prillin, as you would know, being the young gentleman who was sent out on horseback, one of the few horses that is owned, most of which are being served as pack mules more so than for riders. But when to get a message out quickly or a scout ahead, a few horses are spared for such an occasion. In this case, this one to parley with that front. If he can speak peace for us, all we need to do is buy time for them to come to our aid or open the way for us.
It could be a good idea if we separate ourselves, make ourselves look more harmless than a big group all together at once. Kind of look like an army ourselves. They don't know us. Grouping up could probably make us seem more pleasable on the eyes.
I think us just having children is enough. We're not here to ransack Eswins. We're here to find refuge, and I hope they can see that.
You would think so, but from a far enough distance away, you can't really make out a child from a dwarf now, can you?
I suppose not.
And we shall pray that the gods will give them eyes to see and hearts of mercy. Brace yourselves. The march and trudging of the undead army approaches, now audible within the dull thuds that carry each footstep. There is also the quiet murmur and vocalizations of those that shamble closer. Which just becomes a cacophony of these guttural, dying sounds, an omen of what awaits. One of the men at the front, in just torn clothes, what were once maybe something nicer fabrics and linens. The sleeves now torn off, and you see the body of a farmer who has done his many years' work with just a pickaxe in one hand and a small hand axe in the other. Both unbalanced, but ready to deal whatever damage they can. He regrips each of those as he... a bald man with sunburnt and sun-scarred top of head and a longer beard. He makes his way, despite the fear, despite the dread, and despite the inevitability of it all, towards that horde. And he marches as they march, and some others follow behind to stand this ground. A few of the others just in the quick efforts that they can as they get within range, tossed stones and other branches. A seems to have no effect, but it is a release of some sort as they approach, unflinching of these objects thrown. A few of the other hunters loose their arrows, and you see some of them just take those arrows, and still they continue their march unflinching. One of them, though, with a solid shot, does stumble forward and fall as the others just trample over it. One down. 30 or so more to go. With that, Ravnik then kind of crouches down and pats the wolf dog on the side. What is your goodest boy's name, Asher?
Did we get that in chat?
I don't know.
Nah.
I believe someone said dog meat, and I, for one.
Dog meat.
I guess it's dog meat now. This is all preempted. This is dog meat's origin story from Fallout.
Let's go.
Grabs him by the tuft on the side and just kind of like one last nervous pat and shake and comfort pet for you and possibly for him as well. Come on, boy. And he starts to pick up pace towards that horde.
Oh, there we go. We got a name in chat. Cerberus.
Cerberus, hey. Come on, Serby. And with that,
Yona would be right behind him.
As
Heavy,
with Charles.
bit muscular set woman. Almost did a lot of lifting in her days. Big woman coming their way.
they make their way to that rear front. Those breaths and groans and guttural sounds of these foes that encroach are disturbing. But as you get closer, there is this quiet in the air. Only the sound of those near you, their breaths, however many more they have left, and those ahead of you with their marching as they themselves pick up pace to meet in combat. But the loudest noise of all is that of your own heartbeats and that ringing thud in your ears and your own breaths. Go ahead and roll me initiative.
I got it too.
Okay. Make sure who I gave who, so I'll know who to label. That is you. Run that. Not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. You got a what did you get? 2. Okay. Mr. Wolfie Boy.
It's roll plus dex for initiative, correct? So
yes. So on there it should give your initiative bonus.
Does not for this guy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's just your dex. It's a +2. What did you get?
Yeah. So it'd be 19.
19. And which one did I give you? That one. What did you get, Seth?
I got a 14.
14. And roll this gentleman's. Swoop. That is not great. That is his. Yep. Okay. Okay. First up is our wolf boy. What are you doing?
So, seeing this army approaching, he's gonna go from like zigzagging through the soldiers, and he's just gonna go in and start barking and lunging at the first one he sees.
Okay. Lunging at the first one you see. Go ahead and roll an attack.
That's a 19 plus a that's 5, so
That'll hit.
24 to hit.
Yep.
You're gonna need to make a strength saving throw.
Will do. That is a natural 20. So.
Yep, he passes, but that's 10 piercing damage.
Okay. Good solid bite. As you bite into the flesh of this being, you realize that it is in the same manner of those you travel with, but this seems to have its wear and tear has been over the course of many, many miles in its own right, and it has a wound on one side that is kind of healed over in its own kind of infected way. Probably what was initially the killing blow that turned it into this different state. Just a common peasant thrown on some armor. Just a chainmail hauberk and a simple tabard. You bite at it and try to pull it to the ground, and it will make its attack back unless there's anything else that you can do.
I get my one action.
That's it. Okay, dokie. It is a 20, dirty 20.
Yep, AC of 14.
It is 3 points of damage as it takes the hilt of its shoddy sword itself and bonks you on the head as you bite into it.
Okay.
Okay, that is that's turn. We come to Charles. Charles, you're up.
Okay, so Charles would run up beside Cerberus, and he would make his attacks on the next zombie that is beside him.
Sure.
We'll roll 2 attacks with the scimitar. We have a nat 20 and then a... What is our plus to hit here? It is a plus 5 to hit, so 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 to hit.
13 does hit.
13 does hit. Okay, so... We just double 1 die, right?
You double,
crits?
you do max
For a
damage
crit,
and then you do
yeah.
one more, you just roll the die. So max
Okay.
damage and then
Yep.
roll another of that die.
Got you. 10,
Yeah, so it would be the 6 plus 3, and then you just roll another d6.
Yep. So we have 13, 14, 15, 16. So 17 points of damage.
Nice. With that, you take the scimitar across the chest of one of these undead, dealing a nice solid blow. It's looking hurt after that. A few of them, this one will actually immediately return its turn.
Well, one sec, I still have a dagger attack too that I can do. I just didn't know if that was going to end it.
And it did not, no.
Okay. I'm just going to do my dagger attack real quick then, sorry.
Mhm.
That is going to be an 11 to hit.
That will hit.
Oh, wow. Okay. And 4 more points of damage.
4 more points of damage. It is looking really hurt. Very, very, very hurt.
Yeah.
Those 2 solid strikes, you desperately slash across with the scimitar and stab with the dagger, and in its own right, it returns an attack that is a 12 to hit, which will not hit you. And it takes its own rusty sword and swipes at you, and you are able to lean out of the way. Fortunately, lucky in that instance. And then we come to several more who encroach over the party. This one, that is a 15 to hit. That is to you, Charles, as well. And you will take 7 points of slashing damage.
Let's do, he has parry that he can do. That will add a +2 to his AC. So that one doesn't hit.
Perfect. Yeah, that's it. With that, the slash comes across, and as after dodging that first one's strike in somewhat of a sloppily skilled, desperate fighter kind of way, Charles is able to catch the other blade as it comes down and will take no damage. And we come to another one who is going to lunge out and strike towards Iona. It is a 18 to hit.
that'll
That is
hit her,
going
yeah.
to be 7 points of slashing damage
Right.
as this one lunges out and recklessly just flails its sword towards her. That will be 7 points of slashing damage. That's in total. So,
All right.
I will take. I can do that. I have to do that, so I keep track of it. You now have 25 hit points. I keep track of you guys. That's right. Because you're monsters. And that is all of that. We come to this Ravnik rushing forward. Takes his wood-cutting axe, and that will hit, and that will be 12 points of piercing damage. Or not piercing,
On
sorry,
you.
slashing damage. He is attacking one of the undead. He's actually attacking the one that just attacked you, so he just
Okay.
rushed out away from that one, and as that one kind of lunges out away from the horde, he tries to kind of gang up on it and take that one out, but he just has that one attack. And now we come to you, Iona.
Y'all buggers can hit hard. So Ravnik is right next to her, right? Within 5
He is now, yes.
feet. So I get advantage. So that's just +2 to my hits. Take note of that. So where did my dice go? I did choose this one. It'll be 2 attacks. There's multi-attack. It's a thing. So first one will be a 21 to hit. And then
Yep.
I'm assuming the 6 will not hit.
Yep. Anything over 10 will hit with these guys. So,
Okay.
yep. can save you on
Oh,
that.
actually, I get a +4, so that's a 25 to hit, actually. And then a 10. 10 exactly, so 4 plus
10
2,
does it.
6.
Perfect.
Sweet. Okay, so 2, d6. That is 6 6 slashing damage for the first one, and 4 slashing damage for the second one.
With that, both of you taking your strikes, 10 health was exactly how much it had. So that's 6 and 4 does it. With that, you. What weapon do you have? Oh yeah, that's right. You said
I'm just using a simple
machete. Yeah. So
machete.
with slashing damage, for what it's worth, and this one falls before you. Okay.
Right.
Back to the wolf boy.
The one that he lunged at before, is he's still standing?
Still up. Yep.
Is anybody next to him?
There are now more that have encroached and are attackable, so you can.
Well, like any of my allies.
Anybody next to you, yes, they can be. You can be within range of Ravnik and Thug as well.
So
Thugiona.
That's not gonna do much. That's a 6 plus 5, and so that's an
10 is
11.
AC, still hits.
Oh,
Everything over
okay.
10. Yep. Everything over 10.
And they need to make a strength saving throw of 13.
That is an 11. This one is now prone if it's not dead already.
That's another 10 damage.
10 points of damage. It is looking really hurt as you just ragdoll chew toy this. It is going to, with that again, now try to come in with a slash of its own against you. That is a 9 to hit. That won't hit. Yep. Altogether won't hit anyway. So, yeah, it misses on its turn. We come to Charles.
Okay, so Charles is the one he was attacking still in front of him?
Yep.
Or is that the one
It
that
is
he
very, very hurt. It is the one that is like nearly dead. It's got 1 HP.
Very, very hurt. Okay. Well, we're gonna do one scimitar attack at it. Can I move my attacks onto? I was right beside Cerberus.
Yeah, I'd
I
say
was
just
hoping
by the
maybe-
nature of this, like the chaotic fighting that this is, it's just like wailing everything that you can. Just imagine, like, you know, that medieval kerfuffle.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
that's what you've got right now. So
All right, we have a +4 to these, so I've got a 13, a dirty 20, and then 7. So the 7 won't hit that. So that is one
first
scimitar
one
attack
goes
and-
down. Yep. No need even need to roll the damage. Take the next
Okay.
attack and place it elsewhere.
Okay, that is a 4 plus 3, so 7 attacks on the one that Cerberus is on top.
The 7 damage for that.
Yes.
Okay. The one that he is on top of, that, yes, that one dies as well. So with that one being ragdolled and dragged around by the dire wolf dog, it is taken out. But in turn, a few more come to encircle you, Charles. Each of them taking their strikes, feeling that pressure as they overwhelm. That's a 19 to hit, that is a dirty 20 to hit, and that is a 17 to hit. All 3 of these making an attack. One just glances you with 2 points of slashing damage. Another one was more solid hit, 5 points of slashing damage, and another one once again with you reeling from each of those, now being overwhelmed by the number of strikes, 2 points of slashing damage.
Okay. I gotta keep track of all this.
Yeah, what are you at right now? Because I wasn't keeping track for you, I forgot.
56.
At 56. Perfect. Now I'm keeping track for you. But that
Thank you.
concludes their turn as several more seek to encompass the others. A few come to attack the wolf dog. That is a natural 20 for 23. And that is going to be yikes. That is going to be 11 points. No, 13 points of slashing damage. As one solid swipe takes you across the neck and chest or torso of the wolf dog. What are you at right now? Because I have to calculate yours too. I forgot to keep track.
I'm at 21. I'm keeping track on the sticky note.
Okay, 21. All right. And another one comes to attack as well. That is a 13 to hit. That won't hit you, not your AC.
is 14.
And another one. And another one. 10 hit misses as well as you kind of letting go of the one that you were ragdolling and able to dodge out of the way of some of those. Some of the other ones will come and attack Iona. There's a 6 to hit, will not hit. Another one, 15 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
4 points of slashing damage.
21 holds in for me.
Got it. I should be able to keep track now. But that does bring us to Iona's turn. Actually, first, it's Ravnik. Ravnik is going to take his attack. He's actually going to take some damage first. As a few swipe out and attack him, you see a few of them are able to get some glancing blows on him, and he takes one solid strike that slows him down a little bit, and he lowers his left arm as it's injured with a solid strike from one of these, and now it is Iona's turn.
I'm going to attack whatever zombies in front of me. The one that just attacked me actually and hit me. Ravnik is still within 5 feet of me, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I will just basically say in this chaotic type fight, and especially since we have no battle map or anything like that, distance is pretty arbitrary in this case. So like you've got the things that you need.
So 19 and 22, I'm assuming will hit. So
Everything over 10.
same damage as last time. So 4 and then 6. So 10 damage total.
And is this to
slashing.
which one? Any of the ones
This is the one
like,
the second one that hit her.
okay,
She's
yes, this
attacking
one
that zombie.
this one with that does fall, and then a few more come to take its place as that one falls, and you guys are kind of like backpedaling as you're fighting. It's almost just like slowly backpedaling, which will come into play here in a second as we come back to a few more of those that in return go to attack Iona. Iona, that is a 12 to hit. That does hit, sadly. That is 7 points of slashing damage.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. With that, we come back to Direwolf Dog.
Okay,
Cerberus, Serby dog meat.
question here.
Yes, sir.
Is Cerberus's own, is Ravnik his person?
Yeah.
Or is it like, okay.
He's
Then-
his person. The original is no longer around. So it's like,
But
this
would
is
he-
my new person who has taken over me, kind of thing.
Okay. So it's not like, but he would basically associate everybody here as his pack.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So since Iona was looking pretty rough after that last hit, he's gonna turn and start like almost like he's got rabies, and just start snarling and try to take out one of the ones that she's attacking.
Okay.
That's a 16 plus things.
Yep.
And 5 damage, and it needs to make a strength save.
Okay. It is a 16 to the save.
That saves.
Okay. In return, some of the others come to make their strikes as well. Back to the dog boy. Natural 1 will not hit. Another one swings. Misses. Another one swings. Just misses. And once again, one lunges out, and that just hits a 14. Finally, I went natural 1 to 8, 13, 14. Okay. That is 5 points of slashing damage. And that is just those 4 swiping at you. And we come to Charles.
Also not to just want to clarify. Did Ravnik go the second time?
Yeah, I did
thought
his turn.
he
I
went-
just did his turn quickly, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. Sorry. All right. Yep. 3 attacks. Here we go.
Before you do this, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me look up to this. That's a 15.
You're good. You stay on your feet. You feel the kind of rough terrain and the bodies falling around you, and you are able to keep your footing. Go ahead with your turn.
So we have 15, 19, and a 9. So 1 scimitar attack and 1 dagger attack coming here.
Okay.
We've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage to something.
Okay.
To a zombie.
With that, one of them falls, and then in return, they make theirs. Dirty 20. 16.
I'll use the
The parry, yep.
Parry for that.
And a 18. That will be 4 points of slashing damage, and then 7 points of slashing damage.
wow, that one hit hard.
That is that. I'm going to roll his. Actually, there's going to be more that are going to attack him. Let me just roll those quickly. Dude. Yes. So a few of them take Ravnik and start to kind of like grab a hold of him. He tries to pull off of them, and others are swinging and striking him down. He takes a good solid amount of damage from that. And then in his turn, he needs to roll his own dexterity saving throw. And he succeeds. He does not lose his footing. That brings us to one of the others who is going to make a single attack against Yona. That is going to miss. And then in return, it is your turn.
It's Iona's turn?
Yona.
Oh, all right. I'm going to swing for 2 more times.
'Kay.
2 times. 3 times. Let's go. Ay. Oh, with the DC is 10, so 2, so 9. Yes, so I will hit with both. They're both above a 10, just to make it simple. Lowest one's an 11 to hit. And I would...
I need chat to roll me exclamation point D10.
Oh, no.
Exclamation point D10. Go ahead. With yours.
Slashing damage would be 14 slashing damage total.
Okay. With that, one of them is looking hurt, and in that you notice that those around you, in the time that you guys have initiated this contact and conflict and the few of you that rushed in to fight, you see 6 have fallen, leaving only but maybe 10 of you remaining against this massive horde, which is now gaining numbers as the other clusters make their way up. With that, Ravnik kind of backpedals as he's fighting, and he grabs a hold of the tuft of Cerberus, as if to try to motion him back and try to hold back this wild dog, and begins to shout out to the rest of the party. All right, retreat, retreat. And you see another one fall as they try to make their way back. And coming back to the top, one lunges out at Serby. That is a 15 to hit. And another one swipes across, 17 to hit. Serby will take 3 points of slashing damage and 7 points of slashing damage. Rolling a lot of 6s. How is Serby looking? He's kind of hurt, huh? I need
6 HP
you
in a dream.
to roll. I guess you can decide what you're going to do. You can disengage or you can attack. If you disengage, there won't be an opportunity of attack, but it's up to you.
I think he's gonna try to help everybody else get out, so he'll attack whoever the closest one of his people is, like whatever's attacking them, to help them get away.
As you lunge forward against your current master's demands, you feel as that tug on the tuft of your fur is released. No longer attached and no longer being pulled away from the fight. Ravnik has no choice but to let go, lest he become one of the fallen. Go ahead and roll your attack. What was it?
That's a 12 plus a bunch of stuff.
Yep. Roll the damage.
8 plus 3, 11 damage.
Yes, and with that one is prone as well. I failed. 11.
Okay.
With that, some of the other ones kind of are pushed back as you lunge forward and bite the neck of one and topple it over onto the others, creating rough terrain for them. In that, 13 to hit.
Misses.
13 to hit.
Misses.
7 to hit.
Misses.
5 to hit.
Misses. He's just backpedaling and growling.
Okay. You are in the midst of them, though, so if you do not disengage, there will be opportunities of attack for against you. Come your next turn. In the meantime, Charles, what are you doing?
Yeah, so seeing Iana get a lot of hits taken and not looking good, staggering, he is going to do almost the same thing as Cerberus and attack the close zombies to her to give her more of a chance to get out of there. And make 3 attacks.
Sure.
All of those are above 10.
Sure.
So
Roll the damage.
pretty solid damage. 21 points of damage.
Yeah, with that, one of them falls. Few more gather ground around you. And by a few, I mean a metric fuck ton. So you do divert some of the attention away from Yana, though. A 17, 18, natural 1, 10, 16.
We'll do the parry for the 16.
Parry, yes. So we have 3 so far that are hitting, correct?
3, yes.
And there is a number of them. That's the last of them. So 3 will land strikes. 3 points of slashing damage. 6 points of slashing damage. 6 points of slashing damage.
30. Okay. Are you matching with me? Are we at 30?
Yep, 30, we're good.
Okay.
With
Just wanna make
that, some of the others that are still engaged with Yana will swing their strikes. A 12 to hit. An 11 to hit.
It's my AC.
Okay. That is 3 points of slashing damage, 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
It is now your turn. What would you like to do? No, wait. It's Ravnik's turn. He is going to disengage. He's going to backpedal. You guys have slowed them down enough for the main group to get some ground ahead of you. What are you doing, Yana?
Seeing Charles fighting for her, she's gonna yell, I have nothing left. Let's let me protect what we have. And she's gonna shoulder in and just kind of like slash a zombie, like letting the zombie bite into her shoulder and just kind of just start slashing at the one that's...
Okay.
Just 2 hits. I think the last time it was an 11 total, so the lowest was an 11 to hit.
Okay.
And then max damage. Nice. So 16 would be total.
Nice. With that, the one that you were kind of engaged in kind of mutually returns its kind of biting and stabbing into you in the chaos of that clash, and it falls, but those around you now being encompassed, and the lot of them will swing their strikes, and all of those will hit. Yeah. That is a 3 points of slashing damage, 6 points of slashing damage, and that is it. Another 3 points of slashing damage. Yana falls.
Just screaming.
Back to the top of the line. Dog boy.
So,
I just want you to know that if you get this dog killed, everybody hates you.
yeah. Well, seeing her fall, she's just gonna...
Ravnik is calling for you.
Yeah.
Like, come on, boy,
gonna just whimper and disengage back to him.
Disengage. You do not have any opportunities of attack. However, they can gain the ground. At least one of them lunges forward to attack on its turn. It is a 14 to hit.
That is my AC.
And you will
Do we
take...
have the same health written down?
I hope. You will take 2 points of slashing damage.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Are you at 4? Yep. So we are there. Fortunately, just one of them is able to lunge out at you. That brings us back to Charles. Your turn. Well, actually, before that, you made your choices, so now you lay in them. That is a 22 to hit. 8, that will miss. 6, that will miss. 17, that will hit. And
we use the parry for that?
17 just meets it, it still hits.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So 3 hits.
So 3 hits.
3 attacks.
5, 2, 3. 5, 2, 3.
20. Okay.
And it is your turn now.
Charles will disengage, and he will rush to the rest of the people from here.
Okay. You rush towards the rest of the people. One of them is able to, and it's lunging out with a 16 parry, misses, and that's that for Yona. Ravnik is able to disengage with what's left. At this point, 6 of the original who stayed to hold back, at least by some time, rush back towards the other group. And we see upon the eastern front of the Eswind army, lined up ahead, each of them feeling their own breath and heartbeats, waiting for what has been a long time coming, what they've trained for, this battle of unspeakable scale, the clash of Zahath and Eswind, and yet it feels strange. The unorganized army that approaches through the mild fog. And then you see a lone rider gets closer. A group of soldiers near opens up a way, and another rider of your own, decorated soldier, marches out on his own horseback and canters up the horse a little bit in a display of like, stay back. But the rider nevertheless carries on. You see, as next to you, Hannah, who are you?
I wish I knew.
I wish I knew.
You see a tall woman, muscular, and with dark black hair that's pulled into a ponytail at the nape of her neck, with tan features and dark eyes, and a relatively young-looking face, but lined like a person who is that age shouldn't have. And their name is Demacia.
You are among the other soldiers, equipped with the weight of your heavy crossbow. In this moment, it feels simultaneously extremely heavy and exhausting, and also light, as if this moment has culminated into this, and the thought of the weight of that crossbow is only but a moment. Without even thinking, without even registering it, a command is called out, and each of the soldiers in your line of crossbowmen hoist up their crossbows. Another order is issued out, and you hear, just on instinct at this point, what you know to be the command to hold and wait. The leader of your squadron kind of saunters over in front of each of you and then stops to the one next to you. A younger boy who has always been at your right, a younger in comparison to you, and you've grown a certain comradeship just in the proximity of your formation, and you know him to be quite a crack shot. And in this instance, your leader walks up to him and grabs him by the shoulder and whispers some words to him and then nods just casually, and the boy kind of nervously nods back, and you see him train his aim on the rider ahead. The rider, just a boy himself, marches on the horse desperately, and he waves a hand frantically to this Eswin front. And with that, he takes a wider berth, and you see the tenseness of the crossbowmen as they tense up, and even yourself, it's hard not to, as he rides close to that line. And then you see as the boy next to you trains his aim even more, and it jolts you even no matter how many times you've heard it in the past. The crossbow is loosed. That rider waving his hand. Chat, how much of a role would you like in this? Exclamation point D20. The AC of this rider is a 15. So whoever would like to be the boy right... Veronica, why? That is a natural 20. The rider, the arrow of this young crackshot boy sharpshooter, as quickly as it is loosed, as quickly as it lands, the boy is dismounted, still held on by the stirrups, locked around his foot. He's dragged around. His arms lay limp as they themselves barely reaching that ground, but limply drag across the dirt of this war zone. And casually your commander makes his way over, just trotting until that horse of the now fallen rider finally comes to a halt of its own. You see as the commander dismounts his own horse and very calmly quiets down the horse and slows its gallop. He reins it in along with his own horse. He just very casually motions for some of the other soldiers to run out forward, the ones you know to be the kind of field medics, or at least those with some skill. With that, he looses the boy's foot from the stirrups. You see the arrow plunged into his abdomen on the right side. And with that, the commander grabs that same stirrup of which he cut, and like the horse before him, drags the boy through the dirt towards the medics, who each in their own long strides make their way to the boy and crouch down around him, and the commander just then at that point, no weapons drawn, just puts his hands on his hips and looks down at the boy. From your perspective, Damaskia, is that what you said? Damaskia, you see at first, as you turn to look at the young comrade beside you, you see this wide-eyed look in his eyes. You know he's never taken a life. And he has this wide-eyed kind of like shock, but at the same time, this excitement in his eyes of that adrenaline dump that he's just experienced and that very well-made shot. And then that excitement and that shock turns into kind of like almost a concern. And you turn your attention and you see just limply the boy's arms, the fallen rider, flail about just limply as he holds on to what's left of his life.
Low, so the commander doesn't hear me. To this boy, does this boy have a name?
Just Robert.
Rob, you did your job. Don't fret.
Just kind of
If you think too
jolts
much
his head
about
to the
it.
left and then back to the boy.
Don't let it bury you.
It's a good shot, wasn't it?
The best.
I can't believe you asked me to do it. With that,
You
you
think there are
see-
more of
Go
them?
ahead, sorry.
Do you think there are more of them out there?
Well, there's got to be. There's some kind of scare tactic or something that they're doing. Why is he not in gear?
I'm not sure. Like you said, maybe it's another tactic. A new one. To make us second guess. The commander will know. Let's just trust them.
I'm tired of standing here. I'm ready to march. We're all ready to march. As your leader kind of patrols along, he kind of bows his head and hushes his voice. And then the leader marches on over to the fallen boy as well. And then you are clear to speak again with that distance.
This does not feel right. There's an energy in the air. Do you feel it?
It does feel off. It feels... It's just not what I expected it would be. Why is he not in gear? You see he's just like staring at the boy and now seeing also that like is now studying the horse, just some random pack horse. Catch your cantrips, thank you for the raid. I hope you guys had a wonderful stream. We're in an interesting situation here and over here. Demi, I don't like this.
Can we go and look at the horse, or if we fall out of line, will we get in trouble?
You would get in trouble for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Can we see anything on the horizon?
Roll perception.
What are my
The-
stats? That's an 11.
Looking out ahead, the fog isn't that thick, so you do see shapes and figures out ahead. To any eye expecting to run into an army, it looks like an encroaching army. So that same adrenaline of it's about to be the time that we've waited for is still there. But there is this strange sense. There's again, almost could be chalked up to, is this some kind of scare tactics or unique battle tactic that they're using, but it definitely feels off. And now you see as some of the other squad leaders make their way over to the fallen boy, and they see the commander kind of conversing with the boy with whatever energy he has left, and then if anybody from the raid is still here, if you would like to type !D20 for me, you're going to choose something for the campaign.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. You see, as this strange conversation happens, the leaders seeming to bicker amongst themselves for a moment, and then the commander stepping up and almost pointing a finger just upward, as if I have said what I've said. And you see as he takes out his dagger and kneels down very casually, and the boy kind of almost reaches up at him, and he just bats the hands out of the way, and the fallen rider is now lifeless. The commander kneels back up from his post and issues his orders to each of the squad leaders, who return to theirs. Yours basically shouts out what is akin to, as you know, return to formation, as if like everybody was being a little bit lazy on their stature and all that, and so each of you return to formation. And you hear the marching of that group come closer. You see a few horses, packs on their back, and a few people marching forward with their different belongings on them, and still nothing akin to gear as it grows closer.
Who, my squad leader? Permission to speak?
He's making his way past you, and he stops and then turns to you. A usually clean-shaven, taller man. Usually keeps his hair pretty short. But in this moment, as long as you guys have been camped out waiting for this encounter, the stubble has breached through, and even beyond the general tiredness that you've seen in his eyes, there is this new look of a grave revelation in his eyes, and he turns to you and walks close. Be on with it.
Something about this doesn't feel right. Why would they send a boy with a pack horse? Sir, you've trusted my gut before, and I needed to communicate it. This does not feel right. Something's off.
Turns his head down, searching for an answer, and then tilts back up to you and looks you piercingly in the eyes. Our enemy doesn't fight like we do. They will use tactics we would never even consider. Harden your heart. Do what you must. He turns from you.
You see her wrestle with it. And then after a couple breaths, she forms up again and readjusts her grip on her crossbow.
You see, in almost realizing that you've done it, Robert beside you kind of looks stunned at you, and then at the leader, and then at the rider fallen, and that which encroaches, and then he stiffens up his aim as well. The group marches closer. You hear as the enemy is now close enough within range, the orders are given. And almost as if it just goes off in your hand, each of the crossbows, whereas normally it is assembled in a way that they all go off at once, there is a hesitation in Robert's and those near you, and then his, as if he was not keen on his aim, and it just goes off. Choice is yours, of course, though.
She doesn't shoot.
You see, as that crowd that approaches, some of those in that front of the line immediately fall to the volley of arrows. And then you hear the screams and wails of those which remain and those which are struck but have not fallen yet. And then they rush forward. Not like the battle cries that you would anticipate. And what felt off at first now feels very off. Robert notices next to him that you never fired your crossbow, and he looks at you and then bends down for the second volley. He launches his own, or he resets his own crossbow within the foot hook, goes to raise it up.
Stop. Stop. I start yelling it. I fall out of line. Hold your fire. Just wait.
Some of those around you in the immediate vicinity, having just loaded their second arrow to perform that second volley, as tradition, they get close enough to do 2, maybe 3, before the frontline infantry and the cavalry rush out ahead within formation. Those near you stop that second volley You still see further on out those that can't hear you maintain their fire, and another volley from the massive line. But at least those within proximity of you do not loose their arrows at first. Turn their attention to you, kind of confused, and as you turn to face the other group, your leader behind the line turns his attention and turns back towards you and begins to now swiftly make his way over to you.
Look at the people coming forward. I told you something was off. Just look. Something is wrong. Those are not the screams of people who are coming to fight us.
Without
Those may
saying
be our
anything, he
own
points
people.
out over towards those encroaching and being slaughtered, aggressively points out towards them. That is our enemy. It is not what we expected, but a threat nonetheless.
If we compromise on our values, what are we fighting for? We cannot be fighting ourselves.
Squad leader lowers his hand. Takes a step towards Damaskia. Robert, who has now stopped his own volley, though he has loaded that second arrow. The leader looks at you and then him. He then grabs Robert's crossbow and swiftly points it at Damaskia.
You will either...
Asher, you feel as you see those fall around you, they rush forward, trying to avoid, now kind of running at a diagonal angle, trying to avoid the different volleys of arrows. And you're stooping forward, you run in through and over those that fall around you. They try to make it around the formation of the Eswind army. You see as Ravnik, a crossbow bolt plunged into his chest, he falls, and just one last pet at the hind of Cerberus. Turn for a moment to acknowledge him, and with your tail between your legs, kind of scurrying away and around to join that rest of that group. Turn your attention to make your way back to those that remain. And with a yelp, you feel as an arrow sinks into your own flesh. And with that, Asher, you are jolted awake.
Asher's gonna wake up and just like jolt out of bed and look over him, seeing Corey is sleeping. He's just gonna like tuck her back in and go downstairs. And just probably sit there for a few minutes contemplating and just, what time of morning is it?
You're looking at just a couple of hours before everybody would probably be waking up, or about 5 to 6 a.m.
So
Some
he'll
may already be up at this point, some early risers. You know, at this point, a good time for Falzen to be awake. He likes to get up before the rest.
yeah, he'll go
This
over
is
to
his
where the
way.
coffee is and start making coffee if it's not
already
already
made.
made.
Just freshly brewed by Falzen himself. As part of his
Okay.
morning ritual.
He'll pour himself a cup and see if I go out to the barn. I'm assuming Falzen's probably in there anyways, so
And he is.
good morning.
Morning. You're up early.
Yeah, I had there's a lot going on. And he'll start taking care of the horses for a bit, and then
What's on your mind?
there's Eswend and Eswend just there were a lot of innocents heading here for refuge. And they just got murdered. I know that I'm being called out to I feel like I need to go save them, but I feel like I'm neglecting Korea and everything. When does my duty to them stop? And my duty to the world begin, and vice versa.
You see, he kind of sits down on a hay bale and kind of rubs his hand along the mug, just kind of warming up his fingers a little bit. Well, safe answer. He kind of like looks up with a grin. As soon as she says so. But truthfully, there's nothing worse in life than ignoring what you were meant to do. And anything worth doing is going to ask for a certain degree of sacrifice.
Yeah.
I guess you just got to be honest with yourself. If you truly feel called to something, I guess it's from where that comes from.
I'm just gonna look back at the house and think of everyone who's still asleep and be like, I owe all of them my life, and I don't. Part of me feels like guilty for choosing them over Korea, but part of me feels like I need to do this.
You know, I don't know a whole lot of people who have died and come back. Most of them just it's kind of a one-time thing.
Yeah, that was on my mind yesterday until, well, about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, by no means do I think you're any kind of untouchable, but there is a certain degree of guidance that has been bestowed upon my boy. No, all of you.
Yeah. You've raised a good son. I really hope that my child looks at me half the way that everyone looks at you. Hopefully I'm still alive for it.
Well, if it's any consolation, your kiddo is gonna have quite the pops to look up to himself. And again, like I was saying, think of the stories you're gonna have to tell.
Probably have to edit quite a few of them.
Yeah. There's a bit of, I don't know if that's parental advice or spousal advice, but yeah, definitely leave out some of those details.
Yeah. Everything is... I started all of this trying to save my home, and it spiraled quickly. I got Corey to safety, and next thing you know, we're on the run from Kingdom and sending her to the other side of the continent alone. He's gonna go from just like brushing the horse and just gonna bury his head into it for a second. I need to talk to her. Every fiber of my being is telling me to stay here with her and raise a family, but there's part that's telling me I need to make Eswind what my child deserves. Not being able to go into the kingdom is no way to live an entire life.
You said every fiber of your being, which parts of you are suggesting otherwise? And what do you think she feels about it?
I guess it's some place, it's deep down in my heart that I know that it's the right thing to continue on. And I know she would never ask me to stop, but she shouldn't have to.
Well, I've not known her long, but conversations that I've had with her, I know that she loves you very deeply. I know that she also trusts you very deeply. But even beyond that, I think she may have more faith than even you. Even in regards to you. I do a lot of listening. And I cling to things. I try to pay attention. Learn a lot more that way. Just little things that she said in speaking with Ella. They're a lot alike, that's one thing, which is helps in your case.
Good women, a
Good
little
woman.
stubborn at times. Yeah. I appreciate the ear that I think it's time for me to talk to the party and us to figure out what's going on with Eswind. I just wish I didn't have to put her through all of this.
Well, if anybody can withstand it, she'd be one. Wouldn't hurt to check in, though.
Yeah. I still have to update her on the shenanigans that we've gotten ourselves into. See how she feels after that.
She seems like the type that looks into things beyond face value, beyond what the initial visceral emotional reaction is going to be. So she might see it in a way that you don't even see it.
That's why we've made it this far.
This might be one where, in a normal situation with normal folks, I would say maybe edit some of those details, but not with this one.
Yeah. I've gotten in trouble for doing the editing.
That's about right.
Yeah. It was all fine until Dom decided to squeeze out some extra words when we were tripping balls at the end, thanks to Briar.
Like I said, normal folks.
They don't really write books about happy marriages in this line of work.
It doesn't have to not be happy. And it may not be easy, but like I said, anything worth doing is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Olson,
Mm-hmm.
since Rowan's room is occupied, Rowan and Evelyn would probably be sleeping in the barn. No quotations. Would Rowan have heard this conversation at all? And I would like to use my inspiration die that I also got today for a check.
For which check?
Perception.
Go ahead.
Also roll the dice. So that is an 18 on the die. And let me pull up Rowan's sheet. So that is a 23 on perception.
You've gathered everything.
I'm trying not to wake Evelyn, but I'm listening.
At this point, I think Asher would just go kind of give a nod to Falzen, as in like a, I think I figured it out almost, and then just go back to, maintaining the horses and giving them some TLC that we've probably been neglecting.
Rowan, as you listen carefully, tuning into that conversation, it suddenly catches your attention that the pattern of breathing that Evelyn had maintained for a while had now for some time now been slightly changed, and just very slightly with her hand on your chest just kind of rubs with lightly with the two fingers, almost like a tap, and you realize that she has been awake for some of the conversation as well.
You heard that too, huh?
She just buries her face in deeper into your side.
And he's gonna sigh, and it's gonna be a deep sigh. You know, when I came home, I thought maybe I was done. That I'd be with you. Whatever end. But then everything happened. Dom. Losing Dom. Finding out that I'm a prince. And he's gonna take her hand that's on his chest, and he's gonna collapse it tight to where his heart's beating, and he's gonna hold it tight there. Once this is all done, I promise I'll come home to you for good. I gotta see this through. My dad looked at us. I saw you giving me that look with Coria. I want that one day. It's a family with you. But I can't raise them in a world like this. Dom had a vision for a world of peace on both ends. That's a big ask for a big dream. Least I can do is set it in motion for him. Carry on his will, his fire. I carry it with me every day. And I'm gonna lean over to probably my armor. That's probably posted somewhere in the room that we're in, and see his gauntlets. Hang on. Gonna roll over. Gonna crawl over to my armor. Take my dagger that's probably laying there, and I'm going to strip a piece of leather off of what would hold a piece of the swords in place in the center. So we're like near my heart. All back to her. gently take her left hand. Clasp it, her hand, and sandwich them in between his. I promise you I will come back home. And I will finish this. And I'm going to take her ring finger and I'm going to gently put the leather around it. Take almost a measure, but tie it just underneath for now. I will marry you. That's my promise. I hate to ask you for a little bit more time, but I gotta make this place safe as best as I can.
She kind of has this softness in her eyes, and then mixed with a worry and concern and doubt, and then returning to that softness, she clenches that hand into a fist, that left one, and puts it down beside her. She kind of like props herself up with her other hand to kind of address you. You know, that first time that she left, I knew that she would be back. I didn't know when. I didn't care. I just knew that you would. And I thought that when you came back, you would be back for good, and if not that, then we would find each other. And I expected that when you were back, that you wouldn't leave again. And I had that until I saw all the new friends you've made and all that you're wrapped up in and all you're involved in. And I know that that's, like Asher was saying, like your father was saying, it's bigger than us, bigger than you. I don't like it, but it's true. So yes, do what you need to do. I will wait as long as I need. Again. And when that day comes and you ask, she holds up that hand. I will say yes.
I hate to ask you for a little bit longer. Lord knows I don't want to leave. I thank you for being the woman that you are. God, I'm lucky. I will come back. I just got this last thing to do. And I won't leave you hanging for 6 months like I did before.
And she kind of like leans in, like almost nose to nose, and with this kind of like playfully aggressive look, and then like glances out towards where they were speaking and then back to you. No editing.
You know I'm a terrible liar.
That's what I'm saying. I'll know.
I put a lot, I've been laughing. I'm like, oh shit. I'm gonna pull her into another cuddle. Let's not get up early today. Let's stay on just for a little bit longer.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Coria could use some company while we're gone.
She's wonderful. I look forward to getting to know her more.
So maybe I might be. My mom and my dad won't be able to stay in this house, so maybe you and Coria can hold down the fort until Asher and I come back. You can have my old room. Or the master bedroom. You guys can duke it over. I don't care. Whatever works.
I know that they were, upon Ella's request, working on some kind of arrangements. I don't know how much longer they'll be necessary, but the army is supposed to put up some kind of barracks in the manner that they do. So make some space for everybody to sleep, at least for the... She kind of somberly... At least for what time is left.
I'll spend whatever time I have left right now with you. Before I leave. Even I don't get pulled into shenanigans again. You know, there's always that. You never know with this bunch. Especially with Briar. We're getting into stuff. But I owe Dom to see it through to the end. Whatever that may be. And he's gonna pull the blanket over her and pull the blanket over him. And he's probably gonna get at least another hour, but in his last minutes of wake, he's really thinking about what Asher said and not hearing a defined decision on whether he wants to stay or go. He's really gonna think on that. Go back to sleep.
And with that, we will end this wonderfully somber episode. And well, it's good. It's good that we got where we got because we didn't need to we didn't need to have Blind and Sky, so that worked out. That worked out perfectly. Sorry y'all had to see that, folks. Welcome to the trauma that is the Legends of Alos storytelling. Everybody stick around. We're gonna go show somebody some love. We will see you next week. Yes, we will be down a player then, hopefully not more than that, but we will see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out. Thank you for your participation. Don't feel bad. It's the roll of the die. It's the roll of the die. Don't feel bad if you contributed to anything of that nature. It's just, that's the dice telling the story, and it's beautiful. Thank you for that compliment, Nate Sade. Feel free to follow if you have not yet. It is that good or better every time. So always. So thank you for that compliment. First time watcher, really good show. Thank you for that. We will be upping the quality every single time because I'm gonna finally have that intro done soon. I swear to all that is good. I should be able to get done this week. I know I've said this, but man, it is a lot of work. But I should have a decently short week this week at work, so I should have some time to get that done for once in my life. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody that stuck it through from the end or tuned in at any point and chat. Love seeing you guys' comments. Stick around. We're going to show somebody some love with a raid. I'm going to switch it back to this. Don't forget to do the exclamation point things, exclamation point Discord to get connected into the community. Ultimately, that will lead you everywhere you need to be, which is right here with us scooped up into our little hands. Okay, we'll be back on Sunday. Do 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 do.